world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
We were very hopeful that it would find its audience, but it feels like it has, and they really latched onto it, and now I think it's like spreading to like other areas that we didn't think it was going to get to. So, I think growing up as a Korean person in like the 80s and 90s of Toronto, like there wasn't I was actually in an area where were not a lot of Korean people, but I didn't have a lot of like Korean people around me, and I felt like I wasn't seeing my culture really represented anywhere. And so when I got to this place where I could, possibly direct something, I was like, okay, well, let me think of something that's Korean because I haven't seen that before, and Korea seems to be having a moment right now. So I kind of leaned into that, and kind of it just naturally led me to demonology for some reason. Like the guys with the black cats is something like super iconic and like very scary that I really wanted to see. And so I knew that the Saja boys and that kind of image was going to be like the villain character. And then that just led to like demon hunters, and because demon hunting is like usually done privately, it's like, well, they need like public facing persona. And I had another like idea for a K-pop thing, and my husband was like, why don't you just put those together? And yeah, that's kind of how it happened. And oddly, it like really fit, like the idea of like using music to fight demons, really also naturally like tied into like Korean shamanism. And so it just felt like a right mashup. From when we pitched the movie, I always pitched it as like a non-traditional musical, and we didn't want K-pop music to be like just as a part of the soundtrack. We wanted it to be integrated into the story and be part of like the character's identity, because they are idols. So and we also needed the music to be chart topping. Like for it's weird. Like we've always thought about that, but we now to see it happen is like, whoa, what is happening? Like it's weird. Like we talked about it, but then to actually, I don't think I ever like really thought that it was going to happen in a weird way. We thought that it was important to partner with the Korean label because they have a way of producing this kind of music. So partner with a black label, and that was really exciting because they made, it was Teddy Park who created Blackpink, and just the YG library is so like dynamic and kind of, they know how to make some badass girls. The first few writers I talked to were Korean, and they were like, you're really putting K-pop in this like bright light, even though we know there's all this like negative aspects to this business and such. And I was like, I don't really want to focus on anything negative for a Korean movie that's like the first of its kind, like in animation, showcasing Korean culture. But I think the concept itself kind of lends to that idea, the idea of like perfection and showing kind of your perfect side to the world. And the I love the aspect of like the demon hunting, paralleled with like the kind of the perfect, like a perfect image of like a K-pop idol, like the hidden part of their life, which is their demon hunting, which is dirty, and like they get messy and they get scars. And I feel like that is almost representative of like the not so great side and of a business. We only get to see, and it's not just K-pop, it's really kind of almost everything, like even animation. Like it looks like this shiny like bright movie, but it took a lot of blood and sweat and tears to get to that.